During this episode, we will go into the litigation that Ripple and the SEC have been engaged in, which is frequently overlooked. This will not be the subject of any appeals that are filed. The process is finished when you push ahead, upward, and onward, or any other word you choose to use in that sentence with these words. Now that it is over, you should now proceed with taking action. As I said before, the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) will start to fail on this day. Earlier, I had warned you that it was going to take place, and the SEC was there to witness it. Last but not least, Gary Gensler was struck on the head with a kick. While he is standing there, he is shaking his head and bending his head downward. He is leaving. We did, in fact, operate in a manner that was beneficial to Ethereum. We were able to fulfill our pledge to you by receiving $124 million. We have a great deal of respect from the SEC. A few insignificant subjects will be discussed. Stuart Altera's observations will be listened to, the Bitcoin chart will be analyzed, and the recent spike in the value of the currency will be investigated, as well as discuss the probability of a bull market occurring in the month of August. Let's get this party started, can we? The value of Ethereum has increased by 5.14%, or $6,495, over the course of the past 24 hours, while the value of USDT and USDC's respective currency pairings has increased by 7.14%. The price of XRP is marginally lower. That is 58 cents. It is not clear to me whether anyone noticed, but yesterday, my friends, the price of XRP was bouncing in the 66-degree range. Things took a turn for the most exciting in the afternoon. You are already aware of the result, which is that the application was turned down with a score of 64 marks. A score of 58 was brought to our attention when we awoke, and the subsequent orb confirmed that it was acceptable, despite the fact that it was not quite past the deadline. Could there be any cause for concern on this matter? Retracts even farther, and at this point you ought to begin to be concerned and question, will this thing actually take place? On the other hand, I have a feeling that we will arrive at a rate that is 75 cents higher than that before the time frame that was indicated happens. Be at ease, there is absolutely no reason to be concerned or afraid. It is not until the middle of December that you should begin to be concerned, and we are still not beyond 75 cents. Doesn't that constitute the most important level? To reiterate what I've mentioned before, let's talk about XRP right now. Over the course of the next several months, we expect that the overall market value of cryptocurrencies will surpass 2.1 trillion United States dollars. In a word, accurate. People, the bear market is about to come to an end before long. People are still attempting to remove you from your position, despite the clamor and the negative information. Our intelligence is also far too high for us to be misunderstood. I will keep you informed on the latest developments regarding the resurgence of Bitcoin, given my astuteness. Up until the point where it reaches its highest point, I will keep you updated on the revival of Bitcoin. Just 12 hours is a little amount of time, but it is incredible how quickly things can change. Not only that, but there are not many green candles available on the market. Bulls are re-evaluating their targets from the previous 100,000 years, as Bitcoin continues to climb beyond the 62,000 mark. The bull market, according to one bull, would continue to follow the normal line that occurs every 4 years, with significant gains occurring in the months of October and November, irrespective of the events that take place over the next 60 days. Before a global market rebound reversed steep losses from $62,000, Bitcoin endured a fall. This occurred before the market rebound. It is possible that the increase was caused by a combination of factors, including the positive stock market settlement that occurred earlier in the week and the assumption that Bitcoin will replicate historical market cycles. There was a reduction in sharp edges, which was beneficial. There are users, and Bitcoin briefly returned to a price that was higher than 62, as shown by the surge. Pay attention to how quickly the narrative changes. Everyone has a positive outlook. With the realization that Bitcoin will hit $100,000 by the end of the year, they went into a state of panic. It was their emotions that governed them. It has been brought to your attention that the bull market has come to an end. Take a look at this. At this moment, it feels like I'm riding a roller coaster. I take it that we are going to go back up. Bitcoin has once again surpassed 60,000. The happenings of the prior week are almost identical to what is happening now. They suddenly disappeared, and now they are claiming that Bitcoin is bringing back more than $100,000. I have no idea how these people are able to keep their jobs. The way in which they relate to themselves is through this. It is just plain and straightforward. Those emotions, those highs and lows, oh, forget it. I'll get ill trying to handle that look. It's just plain and simple. It is our expectation that Bitcoin will reach 100,000 before the end of the year. I can't believe how early it is. The area is completely empty. I am completely worn out. Can we anticipate that transfer to take place? My guess is that August is the month that we should be aiming for. Is it true that it will arrive this year? Approximately 2 weeks from now, we will observe the upward movement, and what if? For some inexplicable reason, we do not observe the push at the beginning of the ascent to 100,000 in the middle of August. There have been significant reductions in our budget, and that is precisely the period that I am aligning myself with. Let us know where to look if you decide to cut the rates. A decrease in interest rates is something that we anticipate. Reduced interest rates result in an increase in the number of purchases made. Just like that, it is that easy. Sadly, there are none of them. There is no other way to get around that. There is no way. Observe the results that come about. As a result of an increase in the number of people who start purchasing from the Federal Reserve, in a short time, we will be informed about the reduction in rates. In my opinion, the next meeting will take place in November. My guess is that it will be in the month of November. On the other hand, I think the next gathering will take place in September. When it comes to the first rate cut, I believe it will take place in September. That the markets are about to climb once more is a bullish indicator, and this is a positive indication. Move upward in a manner that is parabolic. Because of the underlying price of Bitcoin, JP Morgan continues to maintain a cautious stance about its potential as a growth stimulus. Because they have realized that there is not much more time, JP Morgan is attempting to take as much liquidity as possible at these lowest points. JP Morgan is attempting to acquire as much as possible. There is still a need for us to have these expenditures reduced. On the off chance that something unforeseen takes place, I am confident that this will be the final incident. They will make an effort to return these products so that their friends and men who are isolated can participate. Considering that it is August and that rates will decline in September, I just reasoned that it is appropriate to act now because prices are lower than they were before. It can already be used. Just like that, it is that easy. They are taking advantage of you, JP Morgan, because it is so simple to do so. They want to establish dread in you, and it bothers you that the average Joe, the common person, would listen to JP Morgan because that is how people do it. They want to put fear in you. You can tell that they are genuinely interested in assisting me because they pay attention to the establishments. Do you mean to say that out of these establishments, they are just concerned with my accomplishments? Leave this spot immediately. When they lie to you, they are dishonest to the fullest extent possible. He tells you a trustworthy cryptocurrency, that he thinks Ethereum has not yet reached its bottom, but that Bitcoin has indeed reached its bottom. It is my opinion that he is right. From what I understand, that concludes Bitcoin. Likewise, I am with him. According to my point of view, the bottom is in the dip. From this vantage point, is it forward and upward? At this moment, we are endeavoring to move forward. A warning is given to us by the knowledgeable someone who is approaching us before we start reading the content. If this XRP turns out to be highly positive, I am not familiar with this article. Despite the fact that I have been referring to it as 66.75, I have not yet had the chance to read it. I have no idea who is talking about it in this room, but I believe that we are going to try to figure it out together. Absolutely, that is the topic that I have been talking about. To my knowledge, it is. First, let's look into it. It's time to scroll down, Coins Kid. To what is he referring? Look at it this way. According to him, we are required to breed 74 cents. Okay, he gave a score of 74 for everything, and I gave a score of 75. As you can see, I promised you that there is no hidden agenda. In this particular circumstance, there is no need for a complicated method or TA tool. What are the requisite steps to finish a single task? The sole indication that it is time to move forward is a break of 75 cents XRP in the cryptocurrency market. Following that, we will be able to move up to $1, which is likewise a very difficult psychological level and cycle to deal with. For every $10, $100, or $1 in cryptocurrencies,